Welcome to the channel, you lot. Today we're not in the kitchen, but we're tackling a different kind of heat. The most expensive wines on the planet. These aren't your average supermarket plonk, no way. We're talking about rare vintages, exclusive vineyards, the kind of bottles that make you feel like royalty just looking at them. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the world of liquid gold and discover what makes these wines worth more than a bloody Ferrari. First up, we're heading straight to Napa Valley, California. Think sunshine, think Hollywood glamour, think bloody expensive grapes. The Screaming Eagle Cabernet Sauvignon 1992. This isn't just a wine, it's an institution. Rich, velvety, complex. This bottle lives up to them. And the price? A cool $500,000. You heard that right. For that kind of money, it better age better than I do. It's the culinary equivalent of a Michelin star. This wine isn't just about the taste, it's about the experience. From California, we're jetting off to Bordeaux, France, the holy grail of winemaking. And trust me, they've been at it a hell of a lot longer than California. Château Margaux, 1787. This bottle has seen more history than your granny's attic. We're talking pre-French Revolution, people. This wine was born when Marie Antoinette was still munching on cake. Priced at a whopping $225,000, this bottle isn't just wine, it's a time capsule. Can you imagine the stories it could tell? The revolutions, the wars, the changing hands. It's enough to make your head spin faster than a bloody whisk. Now I know what you're thinking, Gordon. Is a 200-year-old wine even drinkable? And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? This bottle is more about legacy than actually enjoying a glass. It's a museum piece, a relic from a bygone era. There's a story, a legend really, that Thomas Jefferson, yes, the American president, once tasted this very wine. Imagine that, a founding father swirling a glass of Chateau Margaux. Makes you think about the power of a good vintage, doesn't it? Sadly, this bottle met an unfortunate end. Let's stay in Bordeaux, shall we? This region knows how to make a bloody good wine. Château Lafite, 1869, another vintage that's older than your nan's cast iron skillet. This time we're talking $230,000 for a taste of history. Now, I've had some exceptional wines in my time, but this one is on another level. We're talking about a vintage that survived wars, famines, and probably a few bad hangovers. It's a testament to the enduring power of great winemaking. 1869, that's the same year the Suez Canal opened. Imagine sipping on this while the world changed around you. It's a reminder that some things, like a damn good bottle of wine, stand the test of time. What makes this wine so special? Well, apart from its age, it's all about the terroir, the specific conditions of the vineyard that year. The climate, the soil, even the bloody angle of the sun, all contribute to the unique character of this vintage. Unfortunately, finding a bottle of Château Lafite 1869 is like finding a sober Irishman on St. Chapter 4, Cheval Blanc, 1947. A perfect 10 for $305,000. Next up, we're heading to Saint-Émilion, another legendary wine region in France, and the star of the show, Cheval Blanc, 1947. This wine is the definition of unicorn wine. Rare, mythical, and bloody expensive at $305,000 a bottle. 1947 was a scorcher of a year in Europe, and this wine captures the heat and intensity of that summer. It's full-bodied, powerful, and packed with flavor. Think ripe blackberries, truffles, a hint of tobacco. It's the kind of wine that makes you want to close your eyes and savor every drop. Wine critics, those snooty bastards, they rave about this vintage. They call it perfect, flawless, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And you know what? For once, I have to agree with them, but here's the kicker. Only a handful of these bottles exist today. Most of them are in the hands of private collectors who are more likely to use them as a down payment on a house than open them for a dinner party. Chapter 5, Shipwreck 1907 Heidsieck. A $275,000 message in a bottle. Hold on to your hats, because this next one is a wild ride. Forget vineyards and fancy chateaux, we're talking about a shipwreck. The shipwrecked 1907 Heidsieck, pulled from the depths of the ocean, is a testament to the fact that even the sea can't drown a good bottle of bubbly. Picture this, 1916, the height of World War I. A ship carrying precious cargo, including cases of Heidsieck Champagne, is torpedoed and sinks to the bottom of the Baltic Sea. Lost and forgotten for decades until, BAM! Divers rediscovered the wreck in 1997, and among the treasures, you guessed it, those bottles of bubbly. Chapter 6, Domaine de la Romanee-Conti, 1945. Burgundy's finest for $558,000. Back to France we go, but this time we're venturing into the hallowed grounds of Burgundy. Domaine de la Romanee-Conti, 1945. This isn't just a wine, it's a legend whispered among wine enthusiasts in hushed tones. With a price tag of $558,000, it's more expensive than some bloody islands. Now, I'm not one for flowery language, but this wine is the epitome of elegance and finesse. It's like a ballerina in a glass, delicate yet powerful, with layers of flavor that unfold on your palate like a perfectly cooked piece of fish. Think about it, 1945, the end of World War II. The world was rebuilding, and this wine, it represents hope, resilience, the enduring spirit of humanity. Good day, mates. We're heading down under to Australia, a country known for its sunshine, its beaches, and its bloody good wine. Penfolds, Grange Hermitage, 1951. This is a wine that proves Australia can hold its own against the best of them. And at $38,000 a bottle, it's not for the faint of heart. Now, I've always had a soft spot for Australian wines. They're bold, they're flavorful, and they don't take themselves too seriously. Chapter 8, Henri Jayer, Vosne Romanée-Conti, 1999. Burgundy Magic for $136,955. Back to Burgundy we go, the land of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Henri Jayer, Vosne Romanée-Conti, 1999. This wine is like a whisper from a bygone era, a time when winemakers were artists and their vineyards were their canvases. Henri Jayer, he was a legend in the wine world. He was known for his meticulous attention to detail, his passion for Pinot Noir, and his ability to coax extraordinary flavors from his grapes. And this wine, it's his masterpiece. At $136,955 a bottle, it's not for the casual drinker. Chapter 9, Chateau d'Yquem, 1811. Liquid gold from Bordeaux for $117,000. Let's be honest, you can't have a list of expensive wines without a dessert wine, can you? And when it comes to dessert wines, Chateau d'Yquem is the undisputed king. This sweet nectar from Bordeaux is the stuff of legends, and the 1811 vintage, well, that's like finding a golden ticket in a Wonka bar. $117,000 might seem like a lot to pay for a bottle of sweet wine, but trust me, this is no ordinary dessert wine. It's liquid gold, with a history as rich and complex as its flavor. 1811, now that was a year for the history books. Chapter 10, Penfolds Ampule, $168,000 for wine in a test tube. For our final act, we're heading back to Australia, the land of innovation and, let's face it, a healthy dose of why the bloody hell not. The Penfolds Ampule, this isn't just a wine, it's a science experiment gone right, and at $168,000 a pop, it's not for the faint of wallet. Now, I've seen some fancy wine bottles in my time, but this one takes the biscuit. Forget your traditional glass bottles, this bad boy comes in a hand-blown glass ampule, like something out of a mad scientist's lab. It's the kind of thing that makes you want to put on a lab coat and start mixing cocktails. So there you have it, you lot. A whirlwind tour of the most expensive, most exclusive, most downright delicious wines on the planet. We've travelled from the vineyards of France to the shores of Australia, all in search of the perfect sip. Remember, a great wine isn't just about the price tag, it's about the story, the history, the passion that goes into every bottle. So next time you're opening a bottle of wine, take a moment to appreciate the craft, the dedication and the sheer bloody effort that went into creating it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a bottle of something special with my name on it. Cheers.